Bank, and partners of development, honorable guests, greeting to you all and good morning. You are welcome in the building of the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources to attend the launching of Sudan Water Sector Livelihoods Transforming Strategy, which aims at achieving sustainable development, justice, peace, dignified livelihoods to the Sudanese people within their glorious revolution. We will start with reciting some verses from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى وجدك ضالا فهدى وجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. صدق الله العظيم.
Water issues remain a pivotal axis in development, and this requires designing scientific strategies for the best utilization of water resources and the participation of all relevant stakeholders. According to the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources, we've prepared a strategy for the upcoming term years of 2021 to 2031. I'm honored to introduce the representative of the organizing committee with her presentation, Engineer Marwa Faisal.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning. Your Excellency Prime Minister Dr. Abdullah Hamdok, Professor Yasser Abbas Muhammad Ali, Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources, Ministers and Undersecretaries of different ministries, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and Representatives of diplomatic missions, Representatives of flying government ministries, UN organizations, donor organizations, NGOs, civil societies, academic and research institutions, and private sector. Representatives of Youth Parliament and colleagues from the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome you all and thank you for sharing some of your time with us today to launch a key milestone for the water sector. The Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources embarked on the preparation of the Sudan water sector 10 years, 2021-2031 strategy in an effort to build a unified vision and objective for development of the sector. The process of preparing the document took over a year and involved a review of existing assessment and plan, as well as intensive consultation with different stakeholders. The workshop is being organized as a part of Ministry's effort to disseminate the strategy between the stakeholders. The Ministry would like to use this strategy as a tool to kickstart coordination and joint implementation. Allow me, on behalf of the organizing committee, to thank all participants again for participating in this event. Lastly, please allow me to introduce and welcome His Excellency Professor Yasser Abbas, the Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources, to address the workshop. The floor is yours, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Your Excellency Dr. Abdullah Hamdok, Prime Minister of Sudan, honorable ministers and undersecretaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Today we are pleased to share this Sudan water sector livelihoods transforming strategy with all our partners as we collectively embark on a rapid yet thoughtful path to transform this critical sector that has largely been neglected for the past 3 decades. Unlocking the full potential of the Sudan water sector is a huge challenge, but is a struggle we can and must win through good planning and joint commitments to achieve our 4 absolute priorities. Number 1, eradicating hunger and poverty. 2, enhancing food security and livelihoods. 3, creating dignified job opportunities, particularly for the rural youth and women. 4, peace and domestic tranquility. The strategy will move from vision to impact in the decade 2021 to 2031 through the following 3 complementary transformative plans. Number 1, the National Water Resources Management Transformation Plan. 2, the National Irrigation Transformation Plan. And 3, the National Drinking Water Supply Transformation Plan. Employing these 3 transformative components of the plans as a vehicle, the Sudan water sector livelihood transforming strategy promises 4 impacts by 2031. Number 1, a functional water resources management system with the necessary instruments and capacities to close the disparities and inequalities within Sudan and facilitate harmony with its neighbors. 2, all Sudanese people in rural and urban areas, including nomadic communities and their livestock, have improved access to adequate, affordable, and safe water supply. 3, some 7 million Sudanese farming and herding community members are food secure and enjoy better livelihoods. And 4, dignified and rewarding employment opportunities for about 2 million Sudanese, particularly for the rural youth and women, are made available. This is what we promise 10 years from now. 20 to 30% of these achievements are set as a milestone for the end of the 2023 transitional period. The Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources will earnestly work with all partners to identify and respond to people's needs and shape facilitative policies, enable investments in people's institutions and infrastructure, and to mobilize and deliver value-adding, inclusive services to benefit all Sudanese people. This livelihood transforming strategy is the product of extensive consultation with various partner institutions and robust internal and external reviews conducted from May to December 2020. This participatory process enriched the content and grounded the strategy in the local context and shared priorities of the ministry and the water sector community active in the whole country. On behalf of the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources, I would like to convey profound gratitude to every institution and individuals that shared their time, perspectives, and expertise throughout the strategy development process. The list is long. To mention a few: UNICEF, USAID, FAO, JICA, the Netherlands Embassy, Global Water Partnership, IHE, DALT, FAO, and many, many others. The Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources is fully committed to successfully implementing the strategy and harnessing its dividends for the deserving people of the new Sudan. Thank you very much.
The committee tasked with preparing the strategy exerted great efforts for almost a year of hard work and lots of dedication. Through this, all the data was analyzed and they were able to come out with a unified strategy as a conclusion for the first time in Sudan, including irrigation and water resources to come through with a document that can be presented as a solid strategic plan for the next 10 years to preserve the rights of water for coming generations. Up next, the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources Information Office prepared a short film that I would like to ask you to all watch, prepared by Jalab.
يتميز به السودان من موارد مائية، إلا أنه يعتبر من الدول التي تقع في حد الفقر المائي حسب تصنيف الأمم المتحدة لنصيب الفردي من المياه، وهذا التصنيف يعد صادما للكثير منا. فالشاهد أن السودان يتميز بأنهار وأمطار ومياه جوفية، وهذا ما رسخ في أذهاننا أن السودان غني بموارده المائية. ولكن في حقيقة الأمر أن السودان من الدول المصنفة بالفقر المائي. فكيف ذلك؟ لقد حددت الأمم المتحدة نصيب الفردي من المياه 1000 متر مكعب سنويا، فإذا قسمنا ذلك على السودان فإننا نجد أن كمية المياه المتاحة من النيل 18.5 مليار متر مكعب سنويا، والمياه الجوفية ما بين 4 إلى 5 مليار متر مكعب، ومياه الأودية والخيران المتاحة في موسم الخريف ما بين 5 إلى 6 مليار متر مكعب، وبهذا تكون جملة المياه المتاحة في السودان حوالي 30 مليار متر مكعب سنويا. فإذا تم توزيع هذه الكمية على تعداد السودان والبالغ تعدادهم 40 مليون نسمة، فإننا نجد نصيب الفرد من المياه 750 مترا سنويا، وهذا أقل بكثير من النصيب المحدد للفرد سنويا، ناهيك عن الثروة الحيوانية والزراعية والتي تظل شريكا أصيلا في مشارب المياه. فهذه هي الحقيقة التي يجب أن نتفهمها، وبالتالي يجب علينا إيجاد صيغ تجعلنا نستغل مواردنا المائية بصورة أمثل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحن في الإرصاد الجوية من خلال تدريبنا لوزارة الري والموارد المائية نعمل على تحديث أنظمة الرصد والتوقعات لدعم قطاع المياه وتقليل الآثار الناتجة عن التغيرات المناخية على قطاع المياه، وذلك بتركيب أجهزة حديثة وأجهزة لمتابعة قياس الأمطار في السودان.
لأن القادمة سيزداد تعداد السكان، وبالتالي تزداد الحاجة للمياه لتحسين الحياة ومتطلبات النهضة. ومن هنا كان لابد من وزارة الري والموارد المائية أن تضع استراتيجية شاملة للري والموارد المائية ومياه الشرب لتحفظ للأجيال القادمة حقوقهم من المياه وفقا للمتغيرات المناخية التي أثرت كثيرا على الموارد المائية. لذلك قامت الوزارة باختيار خبراء وأكاديميون ومنظمات عالمية للتشاور ووضع رؤية لاستراتيجية تسهم في استغلال الموارد المائية ل10 أعوام.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أنا سعداء جدا نتحدث عن الاستراتيجية وزارة الري للمرحلة القادمة 2020-2030، ودي أول استراتيجية وطنية في مجال المياه التي تحوي المحاور الثلاث: الري ومياه الشرب والموارد المائية. وأنا على أتم الاستعداد من جانب الوزارة لتنفيذ هذه الاستراتيجية، لأنه احنا يعني بذلنا جهد كبير جدا ومواصلين في تدريب الكوادر، تأهيل الكوادر وتدريبها وبناء القدرات اللي بتمكننا تماما من إنفاذ هذه الاستراتيجية في المرحلة القادمة.
وقد خلص الخبراء إلى ضرورة وضع استراتيجية للثلاث قطاعات: ري ومياه شرب وموارد مائية، في استراتيجية موحدة ذات طابع قومي.
هذه الاستراتيجية يجب أن تملك لكل الشعب، وأنها تمس وتؤثر على كل إنسان سوداني في الحضر والبادية. هي استراتيجية تمكن قطاعات مجتمعية مختلفة أن يحددوا مساهماتهم لإنجاحها، بالخصوص الشريحة الشبابية والمرأة.
ففي مجال الموارد المائية خلصت جهود اللجنة المختصة إلى تحليل المعلومات عن كمية الموارد ووضع جدولة ومواصفات لاستغلالها. أما في مجال مياه الشرب خلصت اللجنة لاستنباط كل الاستراتيجيات السابقة وتحليلها وتلخيصها في استراتيجية تضمن حق كل فرد من الشرب في الريف أو الحضر. أما في مجال الري فشملت الاستراتيجية التخطيط التنموي في مجال الري وتصنيفه وتحليله ليكون رأس الرمح في التنمية القومية.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في وزارة الري والموارد المائية أعددنا الاستراتيجية التي تمتد إلى 10 سنوات 2021 إلى 2031، استراتيجية قطاع المياه، وهي تنبني على 3 محاور: محور الموارد المائية، ومحور استخدامات مياه الري، ومحور الاستخدامات الأخرى وأهمها مياه الشرب، وذلك وفق أولويات محددة تشمل محاربة الفقر وتحسين سبل العيش للسكان السودانيين، والأمن الغذائي، والأولوية الثالثة تعزيز السلام. ونعمل الآن على استنباط سياسات ومشاريع مختلفة تغطي هذه ال3 قطاعات. نعمل على تأهيل مشروعات الري القائمة والبدء في مشاريع الري جديدة. كما نعمل في تحسين خدمة مياه الشرب بالتعاون مع الولايات، وذلك بتحسين الخدمة القائمة حاليا وافتتاح محطات مياه شرب جديدة بالذات في الريف.
وبالتالي يمكن للسودان أن يدير موارده المائية بعلمية ومنهجية تجعله يحفظ للأجيال القادمة حقها من المياه، ومن ثم تصبح المياه ثروتنا العظيمة التي ينبغي علينا أن نحافظ عليها ونستغلها في ظل تنمية مستدامة وسلام عادل بين شعوب الجوار، واستقرار يجعل مجتمعاتنا تعيش في أمن وسلام.
Up next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Professor Abu Ubaida Babikir, who will be presenting some highlights of the features of the strategy for the upcoming 10-year plan, detailing all the highlights that are relevant and very important.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister Dr. Abdullah Hamdok, Your Excellency, Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources, Professor Yasser Abbas, our distinguished guests, sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It is a pleasure to have this opportunity to overview the national water sector strategy for the coming decade, 2021-2031. Thanks to the Minister for his continuous follow-up during the development of the strategy up to the end of production in the very nice booklet, you have it. And I would like also to convey my gratitude to the technical teams in the ministry who worked hard to develop this strategy and engage with many stakeholders during the process. We all know that water is life, and as it has been stated in the Holy Quran precisely, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ, and it is a primary driver for all livelihood activities. And if you go back to the 17 SDGs goals, water is anchoring all these goals. And zooming to Sudan, water is very important for the three subsectors. We are talking about the irrigation subsector and water supply subsector and water resources management. And the irrigated subsector is contributed about 20% of the GDP, and it provides about 8 million job opportunities. Also, if you look to the hydropower generation, it is about 50% of our power generation is coming from the hydropower. In the water resources subsector also, the water has a very significant role in enduring the peace among the end users, whether we are talking about the domestic water use or the livestock. The objective of the strategy, the National Water Sector Strategy, strives to deliver fast and viable results through, one, expanding and improving the performance of irrigation schemes for a resilient irrigation agriculture in the country. And second is to servicing the population with reliable and accessible water supply. And third is managing its water resources with the objective of satisfying the social, economic, and environmental needs of the population. It is expected to align vision to improve coordination with other government actors and be used as a tool for resource mobilization. The water sector, it has three components, as I has mentioned: irrigation and drainage subcomponent, water supply subcomponent, and water resources management. During the development of the strategy, we go through very solid steps, starting from the identification of challenges and available opportunities. And this has been done with very intensive consultative with the key stakeholders. Also, we create some sort of synergies and coordination plans, and all of the actors in the sectors, they have been involved in this step. Out of that, we identified sub-components plans, and this will act as vehicle plans for water supply, irrigation, and water resources management. At the end of this process, we launch an coordination with sector actors and develop partnerships. We identified some interventions for each subsector, and we monitorize that and make some launching. if we go zooming in the challenges and the opportunities by each subsector, in case of irrigation and drainage, we all know that we have a very low cropping intensity. For example, if you consider Jazeera scheme, the cropping intensity is about 80% or 85% for the two seasons. Also, it is evident that there is a low water use efficiency, and this will affect drastically on the production. This is coupled with the lack of investment and also the inter-seasonality of the variability of the rainfall and stream flow. There is an opportunities to improve water efficiency and productivity and creation of employment opportunities and contribute to economic growth. And there is also an opportunity to expand climate resilient irrigated agriculture. In case of water supply subsector, we are facing key challenges regarding inadequate water supply services for both human and livestock, and there is a weak also institutional setup and lack of sustainability of services delivery, and there is a limited investment in the field of water supply as the cost is very high, and the absence of private sector involvement and weak cost recovery mechanism. There is also absence of human resources development and capacity building, and coupled with the impact of climate change and variability. There is also an opportunity. There is a potential for peace dividend by providing water to historically underserved, and impact on health and human capital outcomes, and collaboration with other actors such as Ministry of Health to coordinate on sanitation, for example, and potential impacts of livelihoods, example, pastoralist communities, small-scale agriculturists, and so on. Regarding the water sector management, also we are facing, and one of the main challenges which pressing our activities down is a limited monitoring system, and there is a fragmented planning and absence of water policies, and there is a gap in legislation and poor enforcement of this activation of the legislation. There is an opportunities we have a research centers with core competence in monitoring and data analysis, put in place measures to mitigate against climate change, and there is a current revision of water resources laws and related legislation in place. Out of that, we end up with the targets for the end of this decade, and one of these targets is to update the water policy, and this come as a top priority, and a rehabilitation of 1.1 million hectare in the existing irrigation schemes, together with development of 300,000 new irrigation schemes, available drinking water by the end of 2031, or by the end of this decade, 100% service to the rural and urban areas, and also to develop the capacity of actors in the field of operation maintenance, so as to guarantee the sustainability of the systems, including data, water corporation, farmers, pastoralists, and agriculture managers. Another target is to implement and translate 6 of the most promising operational research into impact on the ground and further upscaled. A total budget has been estimated as $7 billion for all subsectors for the coming 10 years, and activities costed with implementation plan, and it has been phased approach-oriented sector financing and cooperation. The implementing strategy we are going to follow is a tool for rigorously mobilizing resources to capture low-hanging fruits that make tangible impact, and in parallel put in place measures for longer-term sector development. Now in hand, we have secured about 15% of the budget which has been allocated to the irrigation sectors, and 5% for that allocated for water supply sector, and 15% for that allocated for the water management sector. Also, I would like in this opportunity to thank the USAID for the kick-off on the ground actions by funding research on the effective governance and policies to promote economic growth and peace in Delta Gash. And this project has generously funded by the USAID, and phase 1 of this project will end by the end of this year. And we hope one of the strategic objectives of the Delta Gash project is the cascading the national water sector strategy to state level and translating from concept to impact on the ground through sound water governance, supportive policies, and field interventions. Thank you very much for listening, and looking forward cooperating with you all and implementing this strategy for the benefit of the Sudanese people. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Professor Abu Ubaida Babikir for his presentation highlighting the strategies for the upcoming 10-year plan for water resources. Up next, I'd like to welcome the Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources once more, Professor Yasir Abbas, who will be showing up on the stage and presenting his appreciation for all participants in this great strategy that we hope to move forward.
Thank you. I would like to make it short to hand over the Sudan water sector strategy to His Excellency Prime Minister Dr. Abdullah Hamdok, and looking forward to implement it together with all partners within colleague ministries and also with states and also with other organizations, donor organizations and NGOs. So I would like to. I will introduce His Excellency Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok for remarks on this event. Please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Professor Yasir Abbas, Minister of Water, Resources and Irrigation, Honorable Ministers and Undersecretaries and leaders from the civil service here present, our partners from various organizations, regional and global. I must say I'm very delighted to see among ourselves this morning the chair of the board of the Jazeera scheme and the governor. This is a sign of that complementarities and working together. I see also the leader of the Environment Council, Professor Rashid Maki, among us here, and many others. Let me start by expressing how delighted I'm very pleased and happy to see this product for many reasons. I think the first thing I would like to commend the ministry on is the development process of this strategy. As it has been outlined to us, it followed a very detailed, comprehensive consultation process that has engaged almost everybody in the sector and beyond. And I think this should be a model that all of us follow, because the idea of the silos mentality and each sector working on its own is not going to take this country far. So let's work together, join hands and doing this. So I think we should all commend them for this. I would like also to thank our partners for stepping and coming forward and helping us addressing this issue by providing resources. But not only that, I would like to believe all our partners did not only provide resources, but also thinking and sharing of experiences from elsewhere in the world. This is very commendable, and thank you very much for that. I think I must say from the presentation, as an ordinary citizen, I'm very much shocked to the shocking fact that Sudan, with all this water around us, we think we are not only endowed with water, some of us, we think we could export water to other countries. Only to know today that we are under stress. We do not have enough water sufficient for the consumption of our people. I think this is very shocking. And this, if this for any other reason, we should take that as a reason for us to come up with a comprehensive strategy on water resources that would allow us to consume with whatever water we have. Myself and Professor Rashid, we lived in a region in Africa, in Southern Africa. I think there, almost every drop of water that comes down from rain, from whatever, it's counted, it's collected, it's harvested, and it's put to a good use. Let us embrace that, embrace the technology. I'm one person, I thought, with last year production of wheat, not only in the Jazeera, but in places like North Kordofan. I thought we have enough underground water to allow us to green that belt, North Kordofan, the northern state, and North Darfur, and grow wheat in places that I guess through technology and science which have never been able to do it. Of course, the Jazeera itself is an example of using technology to grow wheat-resistant varieties and all that. But now I don't know, Prof, with this information, is it still possible to grow wheat in those deserts and transform them from desert-like environment to a green belt that would allow us not only to be self-sufficient in wheat but also export? So I guess if we can join hand and look at this, look at our through science, is those aquifers, Al-Hawd al-Nubi and others, are they replenishable? Is it all these issues? I think through science and technology we should be able to answer those things. I guess I do not need to say much about the importance of water to every aspect in our life, not to mention its major contribution to the economy. You know the statistics. I think water is important for irrigation. Securing our food security, water is key to that. Employment, issues of even peace and security. We have seen and witnessed a lot of tension and conflicts between farmers and pastoralists. Many of it related to how we are using and managing our resources, and water is key to that. So I think I would like just to end by commending the ministry for really embarking on this excellent, exemplary work, and I would like to challenge our rest of the sectors and the ministries to follow suit and give us comprehensive strategies that is designed, developed through a very comprehensive consultative process. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you to His Excellency Dr. Abdullah Hamdok, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Professor Yasir Abbas, Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources. And a personal thank you from me to everyone that is here. Thank you to you for acknowledging the importance of water and water resources and making the effort to be here this morning and attend today's event. Solidarity is the key to sustainability and is a driving force for progress. Sudan is adamant in upholding themes of growth, progress, and unity, and that is what brings us all here together today. Thank you, have a great day, and please help yourselves to some refreshments.